Back in here, boy. Oh shit. Break off. You know, I've been driving manual for a few months now, and I still low-key suck at it, man. Sometimes I forget to take off my parking brake. Sometimes I don't shift as smoothly as I want to. But you know, it's all a learning process. Life is all about learning shit. On the way to go buy a jacket now, because I'm kind of tired of wearing hoodies every day. I think I need to grow up, man. You know how your dad had like a jacket that you kind of vaguely remember as a kid that was like a lot heavier than anything you wore, and it had like a shit ton of pockets, maybe even had like paint stains on it or something. I want to have a jacket like that, man. Like a jacket I've had for 20 years, but I gotta get it, you know. I gotta come and get it now. I'm thinking Carhartt. I don't know, man. I'm not used to buying clothes like this. Just, you know, going out and buying clothes because you want to. I just kind of buy clothes every time I pass by a store or something. I'll buy like a shirt or something maybe, and then that's how I buy my clothes. But this time I got ready to go out and buy my clothes. You know. Or sometimes I'd go with a friend, but this I'm just going by myself, man. I'm solo riding tonight. Or today. I just woke up a couple hours ago. It's 3 o'clock. So we'll see what I can find. I have this I got as a gift. I don't know what it's called. But it's pretty warm. It's pretty warm and light. But I want like a heavy rugged jacket. A man's jacket. You know. A jacket you see on the side of, you know, we'll leave somewhere at work and somebody will be like, oh, that's that guy's jacket. He wears it all the time. He's worn it for the last 30 years. Huh. Saw a homeless dude walking down the road with a bunch of stuff behind him. Sucks, man. Sucks. Older guy. You always wonder why they're in the situation. You never wonder how hard of a life they had to be put in a situation like that. You know, it sucks that that a lot of us don't have the emotional capacity to, you know, feel for other people. Like on Instagram comments, you know. TikTok comments or whatever it is, the social media comments sections. I feel like people are a lot more bold and they really show their true colors in the things that they post on there. You know, so like, there's people advocating against giving like SNAP benefits to people. Like, in what universe are we in 2025 and we still can't, you know, we still don't want to give food to people? You know what I'm saying? Like, everybody should be able to eat, even if you're a little broke. Food is so important in life. Yeah, it's all you have, man. That's all we really work for. Food and stability, right? If you have a source of food, a source of water, and freedom, then you can live your life however you want. I think we should give everybody a baseline, you know. You know, like you know what I'm saying. It might sound like communism, but you know, I don't know those terminologies that well. I just know that I think we should treat the people out in society that haven't committed any crimes and shit like that. We should treat them with a little better compassion, you know. Fucking jail inmates, they get food, water, and shelter. You know, they have time in the day to, you know, go and be recreational. Why can't we do that with, you know, homeless people? A lot of them just got put into shitty situation. And it's not fair, man. I think everybody deserves a second chance. I think everybody makes mistakes. You know, a quick decision 1 second can, you know, fuck up your whole life. I saw a post on Instagram, and it was a dude who was like, this is how 1 minute of 5 minutes of decision making cost me 20 years of my life, and he ended up, first minute he was mad, second minute he was still mad, third minute he went to go get his gun, fourth minute he went to go approach the guy, fifth minute he killed the guy, got 20 years in prison for that, missed out 20 years of his, prime life, the prime years in his life, and missed every birthday from their child to the time that they were an adult. His wife moved on, or his girlfriend moved on, came back to nothing, and all that came from a 5-minute decision after, some petty shit. And you never know when that 5-minute decision, that 1 minute decision is going to affect the rest of your life, right? You could swing on a dude and then he pulls out a gun, blasts you in the face, boom, it's over. Just because he cut you in line at a Kroger's. And that's somebody's life, man. That's somebody's reality. Somebody had to, they grew up their whole life. They had passions, they had wills, they had friends, they had loves, they had preferences. They probably watched anime and shit. Wanted to be like Goku. The one time they get pissed off, they were having a bad day, their girlfriend cheated on them, and then some asshole cuts them in line and shoots them in the face. That fucking sucks, man. That's terrible. You gotta live your life and love every fucking second of it, because then if you don't, it's over. It's over. That's the whole fucking point of life. We're all looking for our purpose in life, but there's no purpose in life other than to enjoy it, man. That's all you can do. Death comes for us all. You have a set amount of summers, a set amount of winters, a set amount of springs, and a set amount of people that you're gonna meet in your life. And, how you do what you do with those things is, it determines how you're going to be with your life. There's a lot of people who live in poverty and live extremely happy lives, and there's a shit ton of rich people that live miserable lives, man. You never really fucking know. You never know with these kinds of situations. I didn't even notice my phone dropped, my fault. And I got the glasses, bro. I got the locks on. I could have turned into this lane right now and gotten fucking killed. That would have been it. All my dreams and aspirations and YouTube videos, this would have been the last fucking YouTube video I wouldn't have even uploaded this shit because I would have been fucking dead, man. Could have just happened like that. So I try not to be so mean to people, and I try not to be insensitive as much as I can. We're all human, we all make mistakes. I still make mistakes. I think just like anything, you can get better at it though. You can get better at being a nicer person, you can be better at being a better person. It's all skill based. Kind of shows you the humanity and how cool humans are. We can adapt to literally anything. We live on every single fucking continent in the world. We've visited every island. Bro, these glasses look so fucking tough, don't lie. Holy shit, I feel like Jason Bourne. I've never seen a Mission Impossible movie. I've never seen Beetlejuice. I've never seen Whiplash. I've never seen fucking any fucking movie you think is a classic that everybody's watched, I probably haven't seen. I suck at movies, man. Everybody recommends me movies to watch, and I just never end up watching them, man. Because I want to do so many other things in my life, man. I want to join I preferably want to join an MMA gym, but I really doubt there's any nearby. I might join a jiu-jitsu gym, a boxing gym, just something that can make me a little more confident in my self-defense abilities. Not that I'm a provocative guy that gets into fights a lot, but I've definitely had moments where I could, I really wanted to fuck somebody up for some shit that they did, but it goes back on the topic I was talking about earlier about being kinder to people. I shouldn't need to have the urge to, want to beat the shit out of somebody. But sometimes in life that situation will come up, and I want to be ready for it. So, and I also think it's a good sport. I think it's a really good mental, good for the mental. I was watching UFC 323 yesterday, Merab versus Peter Yan. That shit was gas, man. I wasn't gonna even buy the card, dude, but thank God I did. That's the card of the year by far. The preliminaries were fucking nuts. The main card was fucking nuts. Everything about that shit was crazy. 2 title changes, right? Pantoja, the dude nobody thought could get beaten, has a freak accident, breaks his arm or dislocates it, I believe, and Joshua Van becomes the 2nd youngest champion in the UFC history. But that was a rough win, man. I didn't want him to win like that, dude. I wanted a good fight. You know, they both went into training camps. They both put their all into this shit just for it to end like that. And Joshua Van was, you know, hype as shit. He was like excited, jumping up and down. I would too, you know, becoming the best in the world at some class, you know. That's fucking hype as shit no matter how it happens. I think I missed my exit. Oh well. Alright, I'll take the next one. Bad drivers never miss their exits. Remember that quote. Absolutely. A very factual quote. I don't play around when it comes to the road shit, man. You know, I'll definitely, you know, sometimes I'll floor it. I'll give it some gas. I might take a turn a little quicker than I probably should. You know, I like to have fun on the road, but at the same time, I've had a couple friends pass away in car accidents that I was really close to, and that shit kind of, you know, it gets to you, start making you think a little more. Wear your seatbelts, y'all. Wear your seatbelts. Have fun on the road, but don't go crazy, man. You know. Yeah, you might be good at driving, but not everybody's good at driving, dude. Some idiot's gonna, you know, run a red light. You could have done everything right, you know, everything perfect. As long as everybody else was doing it perfectly, it would have worked. But you know, the average person sucks, dude. The average person's an asshole. The average person has no drive, no goals. The average person, you know, they don't give a fuck, man. They think shit's just a joke. They're worried about the next season of Stranger Things or the next UFC card, or they're worried about their fucking loot in Minecraft, or they're worried about a girl that dumped them. But you can't worry about shit like that for so long, man. You gotta be happy. You gotta be happy where you are right now. I'm pretty happy where I am right now, man. I think my life has been improving a lot. You know, the last year or so I've been very developmental to me in my brain. Physically too, you know, I'm losing a lot of weight. I'm getting a lot of muscle. I just weighed myself this morning. I was 192, and that's still pretty heavy. I'm 5'10". I should probably be like around 170. That's kind of my goal. But you know, I think the heaviest I was 260 at one point. You know, post high school graduation during COVID. I'm really proud of myself. I worked really hard for this shit, man, and I think I'm in a good spot where I can consistently lose the weight, because I've lost the weight before, but I've always gained it back. But I've finally, you know, kind of gotten into that groove, and I'm just following that groove that I've carved for so long. My tip for anybody trying to lose weight, you know, let me think about this, because, you know, I gotta really make sure it's impactful. You just gotta keep trying, dude. You're gonna fucking fail. The first couple times, man, I tried to go on diets, you know, I did a lot of fucking, you know, keto diets, all these diets and shit, you know, you look online, how to lose weight the fastest way, blah, 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 blah. You gotta just keep researching, man, keep learning about it. The more you surround yourself with something, dude, the more likely you are to be attracted to it. Like that one coworker at work that you didn't really find attractive, but you spent so much time seeing them, you see them every day, you know, you suddenly start seeing them, and then boom, you have them in one dream, and now you're crushing on that chick, dude. I think that's the dude thing. You randomly have a dream about somebody, and then suddenly you're just you're thinking about them nonstop. I don't know if that happens to women, but that's definitely something that happens to me. Happened to me a lot in high school. I had a lot of crushes in high school because of that. They weren't even creepy dreams. They were just like a dream where they just kind of showed up for no reason, like a girl that I'd never even talked to or even like paid mind to. They just suddenly became a big portion of my brain. And you know, I think that applies to a lot of things in life. If you surround yourself with good people, you'll most likely become a good person. If you surround yourself with shitty people, you're going to most likely become a shitty person. And there's exceptions to all these kinds of things, right? You know, the dudes that made it out the hood or whatever, became a good guy, family members or whatever. You get what I'm saying. Bad times create strong dudes create good times create weak dudes, man. And right now we're seeing the results of good times creating weak ass dudes, you know. I think Gen X had like the best fucking life, dude. Millennials had a good life. And millennials and Gen Z are kind of in the same boat when it comes to things, but Gen X for sure, dude. Gen X and boomers, they had peak life, dude. Peak life. Everything was just working for them. There was not as many people around, and there weren't as many problems as we have now. Never mind. Let me go back on that. They had different issues than we have today. Very different issues than we had today. Today, a lot of the issues we have today are just comfortability issues. We're just not comfortable where we are. You know, because we've seen what we can get. We've seen what we can do. And I feel like we're kind of regressed a little bit, man. Kids nowadays, they all grow up on tablets. Relationships are kind of really toxic now. They're very difficult to work with, or to be in, to stay in. Sucks, dude. The dating scene is killed. You can go up in person and, you know, ask somebody out. I think that's still a viable option. But like, it's not like it was before, man. It's just not a feasible thing. It's not as back in the day. That was the only way. Now there's dating apps. So like, why are you creeping on girls and who you don't know are single, right? If you want to have a girlfriend, go on a dating app and try your luck there. Good luck with that, though. You know, I've tried a dating app a couple times. I don't know. I don't really use them long enough to really try to get any matches on them. I'll have them on for a couple days, and then I kind of get self-conscious and just turn them off. I'd rather meet a girl organically, like at work or something. Maybe if I was in school, I'd have a better chance. When I was in school, I was a nervous fuck, shy as hell. I'm a little different now. I have a lot of confidence now. I have no problem approaching women or getting women now, honestly. But now that I've had my fair share of experiences, I'm not missing out on much. I'm actually enjoying being single very much. I'm saving my money. I started college again. I'm going back for my bachelor's degree. I already have an associate's. I was gonna be a teacher, but after doing substituting for a little bit, I didn't enjoy it, man. I did not enjoy it. The school system is so incredibly fucked, dude. It's terrible. I think a Dollar General runs better than a school does, man. Like, nuts, dude, nuts. Bananas, even. And I don't use the word bananas lightly. It's a crazy world we live in, dog. And with all this negativity, the presidency, impending sense of doom that we all have for some reason now, you've got to find the happiness and shit. You know, you got to find the light in the darkness, because somebody's got to be able to switch this up, right? And if it takes you being the influence of the people around you to be happy, then you're just gonna have to fucking suck that up, man. If you're listening to this, man, if you're fucking listening to this, you got to, bro. You got to be an inspiration to the people around you, man. Get the fuck up, dude. Get the fuck up. It's not gonna be easy. You're not gonna fucking, you know, run 10 miles day one. You're not gonna get shredded day one. You're not gonna suddenly start being a ladies' man. You're not gonna start pulling bitches all the time. You're not gonna start making money, man. But everything in life is about momentum, dude. You see all these old fucks, dude. By the time they're old, they've had so many chances, so much time to just get all this shit sorted out. And the ones who lock in, you can easily see that their lives are easy, man. They have an easy life. They have money to spare. They have houses. They have wives. They have kids. They've done everything, man. And now they can just, you know, that's because they kept that momentum going. They started off as a kid working at McDonald's or something, worked their way up, found another job, went to school, found a girl, got married, saved up their first $20,000, put a nice ass down payment on like a car and a house, and now they're chilling, man. And once you get that shit, everything you do past that is like after game. You know how like in Pokemon games, once you finish the Elite Six or whatever, there's like post game and like all the Pokemon are like a little higher level, but you're just doing it for the fun of it. That is life, bro. Get to the point where you're doing shit for the fun of it. Right now we're surviving. Yeah, you gotta fucking survive. You start off rough, but that's where the fun is, man. You see these Arabian dudes that are born into like extremely rich families and they don't do shit with their life. But then you look at someone like Arman Sarukian, fucking the Batman of the UFC, dude. He's pretty fucking cool, man. His dad's rich as shit, but he has passions. He has a dedication to life. Money isn't his drive in life. My drive in life is to inspire people, man. I want to be an inspirational dude. I want to be that old guy that goes to a school, gives like an inspirational ass speech. Cause I was that kid, man. I still remember this one dude in high school. I wish I could remember his name. He came and gave us like a really inspirational speech, man. And it hit me fucking hard as hell. That was like during a really rough time in my life, and it really impacted my mentality. And I want to be that guy one day, because if you're able to just switch one person's life from going down the wrong path, man, then you did what like 99% of people can't do. A lot of people can't do that shit. A lot of people just straight up can't. But yeah, man, I think I'm pulling up to the place I'm pulling up at, and I think I'm gonna end the video right there. It's about 20 minutes. Thank you guys for listening. I have fun talking on these things. I don't really say anything important, but I'm starting that momentum now, the momentum I was talking about. But